Good morning, it's Tuesday. And Tuesdays are always good because that means it's Tuesday at Two Line Slotcast with Marty Ford tonight. So I'm going to look forward to that. Right, a Malden Coffee Company Lucky Dip coffee for the 3rd of December. We'll have a good old rummage about in here today. And we have got Honduras. So then, Honduras. Soft and balanced, often used as a base in coffee blends. But this lighter roasted Arabica bean stands alone as a medium, chocolatey, nutty, yet creamy textured coffee. Well, that sounds lovely, doesn't it? Chocolatey, nutty and creamy. Well, there's only one way to find out. Good crema. So here we are again, another coffee. Honduras, chocolatey, creamy and nutty. We'll find out. There's not such a strong smell to this one. Oh, it's definitely nutty. And if by creamy they mean smooth, yes, I'm with you. Very nice coffee. They're all very nice coffees. So you seem to have enjoyed the last couple, so we'll keep going here. I'm going to keep going anyway, but you know what I mean. Day 3, car 3. Is my big pink one. So, jokes and innuendo aside, here is my big pink one. Now, this is my first 1/24th scale car. And it's a BRM Mark 1 Escort, as you can see. There was a while, probably at the start of this year, getting into springtime, I was starting to wonder if I should have got a polycar track instead of a Carrera track. And then I got a 1/24th car and I remembered why I decided to get Carrera track in the first place, which was the lane spacing, the freedom to choose. If I fancied having a go at 1/24 cars at some point, then I'd be able to. And I'm very, very glad I did now. Not regretting this decision at all, because this opened up another world. These 1/24 cars, I mean, it is pretty much a big Revo slot. It's got the 2 pieces of metal with the rattle bolts in it and all that usual stuff. There's a few other little extra bits in here, like the front wheels have a camber on them on this, so they are ever so slightly tilted inwards, which is supposed to help with cornering, and it does on a real car. Whether it does on one of these, I'm not so sure. These wheels are barely touching the ground anyway, because the axle height's kind of where it should be. So I don't know whether it's really a practical thing or whether it's just for the look. When this car turned up, one of them was cambered further than the other, and I had to take it off, and I think it was a burr or a manufacturing flaw or something, but I had to even them up. And then once they were evened up, it sat on the track quite nicely. 1/24 cars are a very different kind of drive to a 132. And part of this is just the bulk of the thing. But you do need to be getting off the brakes a fair bit earlier, and you could be getting back on the power again a fair bit earlier as well when you come out of a corner. It's a slightly delayed sort of response to driving, if you like. You're doing things, it's time shifted slightly around your lap, where you pull the trigger and where you let off. It's a very interesting drive. They're big old beasts. But they are quite a lot of fun because they go about the same speed, but obviously being a bigger car, it looks a bit more realistic. And I mean, I've got this one, I've got another one, which we'll get to another day. But my friend Ian came round and we ran these two, this one and the other one, round the track for hours, and they were really well matched. And we were doing quite a lot of, you know, door banging around the corners and running laps just side by side with each other. So yes, lots and lots of fun. Big, crude, lumbery things, but great nonetheless. The other great thing about this car is it's very interesting in that, so this is a 1/24 scale BRM Mark I Ford Escort. And there is the tiny little 1/32 scale reverse lock Ford Escort. Now, you know, it's the same model, just scaled down, but it is really tiny. Even more interesting is that the Ford Escort as a car is really quite tiny. This is a 132 Dodge Charger, and I've reason to believe it's pretty much to scale. And this 132 Dodge Charger is, if anything, a millimetre or two longer than the 124 Ford Escort. And when we put this one back next to it, it really is quite a sight to behold. So I was sort of looking at this and I was trying to work out how the hell big would a 124 Dodge Charger be? And I reckon it's probably going to be about that long. It would be massive. I don't know if anybody makes one. If somebody does, let me know, because I fancy getting one. So there we are, my first venture into 124s. I'm very glad I did. It's a different kind of driving, but it's just as much fun, possibly more fun, in slightly different ways. Right, cup of coffee time, and brace yourself, because it's time for Mrs. Slotard's Christmas joke. What did the octopus get for Christmas? 4 pairs of socks. Now, is that a joke? I mean, it's just silly, isn't it? You asked for this. They're not getting any better. They're really not.